5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a very warm good afternoon to everyone. And I'm Utkarsh Tandon, welcoming you all. And as you can see, the exuberance and the delight on my face. So it means that India have successfully drawn this third test match, which was played at the Sydney Cricket Ground in Australia. And second consecutive test where India showed this nerves of steel, determination, vigor, and also the resilience. So this is it. And to add to my delightness, I have with me our expert, Mr. Monty Panesar, Mr. Varun Kumar. So first of all, welcome both of you, and a treat to watch. It was the first time ever that in this series thus far that the test match went into the last day, the fifth day, and what a day it has been for India, and what an effort.
Yeah, it's been a really
So,
great test match, it's again, at times when we have T20 cricket as the dominant cricket that everyone watches. We in England, everyone looks forward to the IPL, and they kind of think that this is for some cricket fans, that's their year, of cricket they watch is the IPL, and that's it. And so it's such a dominant force at the moment, T20 IPL cricket, that especially India being involved in such a test match where I think it was since 1979 India have batted out such a long period in a fourth innings test match. It kind of just suggests that it's probably best advertisement for test cricket when India are involved, because they have the biggest market. But also looking into the context of this victory, how well they've done, that without Virat Kohli, few injured players, you look at this is such a statistical game that everyone's going to think about the hundreds. But that 15, that 19, that Vihari scored it goes up as one of the greatest test innings, as an Indian batsman, and especially on Rahul Dravid's birthday. It's a perfect fitting, to see one wall emulate the other.
Yeah, definitely. So we at GVS present our best wishes to the wall who served the Indian cricket for long, Mr. Rahul Dravid, sir. And as you mentioned, most overs batted by India since 1980. That test match against Pakistan in Delhi, which ultimately ended in a draw. And also the most overs batted by an Asian team in Australia in the fourth innings to draw a test match. So this speaks volumes of what India did today. Also, Paji, I remember that Cardiff test, and that memories are still very much clear in our minds, that how you drew the test match along with Jimmy Anderson. So today, as you saw, India's effort, India's resolute to ultimately draw the test match. So can you just did you compare your innings with this one?
I think it's probably a little bit unfair to compare 69 balls.
Compare in the sense, if you look at if we intertwine and look it in a similar way.
Yeah, I guess the attitude and the method of how you look to save a test match is, again, the most critical things are the three stumps. When a ball is hitting the stumps, you look to defend. And that was probably the biggest, maybe the biggest question mark over even during this last session. out of like, I think it's about 120 balls, there was only about 10 or 12 balls that were hitting the stumps. And, that's something that for the Australian bowlers, they would probably think, this is like apparently supposed to be the best attack since McGrath, Gillespie, Brett Lee in terms of their records, after 30 odd test matches. Pat Cummins, is top of that table after Glenn McGrath. So, if I was the Australian coach, I would be sort of thinking, guys, how comes we can't take 10 wickets after 130 odd overs? This is supposed to be the best attack since the days of, the best we've had, since the days of McGrath, let's say, the McGrath days. If we can't take 10 wickets, there's something clearly not right in our strategy and game plans, and they really need to sit down. And I think one of them is that I don't think enough balls were hitting the stumps.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of bouncers were used. Only Mitchell Stark, who came later in the third session, did bowl a bit fuller, but otherwise most of the bowlers did use a lot of bouncers and a lot of balls which were actually missing the stumps, and they stuck to that corridor of uncertainty, that fourth, fifth stump line. So now moving to Varun, the kind of determination, the grit which was shown by India. Ashwin, who sustained a lot of balls on his ribs, and but still continued playing. Hanuma Vihari sustained a hamstring injury, continued playing. Rishabh Pant, who was in a lot of pain yesterday, didn't even come out to keep the wickets. He was promoted up the order, and what an innings! He didn't even let Nathan Lyon stick to his line in length. And last but not the least, Ravindra Jadeja, who had fractured his thumb but was still out there. He was padded up that if the team needs him, he'll go out there and bat. So on this effort, what's your take?
Well, first of all, really a big congratulations to Team India, the way they pulled off this test match in way towards the draw. And yes, when the day ended yesterday on the fourth day, it was we all knew that Team Australia was on a driver's seat, but the way the Indian team showed a great determination today, thus great spirit of game they have shown, it was really fantastic. And obviously, the start for the day was not that good after losing Ajinkya Rahane of second over of the day only. And that time it was looking as if like things were going to hold it up quickly. But the way Rishabh batted and that partnership between Rishabh and Pujara, that brought the hopes for Indian team. And at that time, the rhythm was so good that before the fall of Rishabh Pant, it was most likely the Indian team was looking favorite to chase down the target because Rishabh was playing with a good pace and the strike rate of his was pretty good. And even after when Rishabh Pant fall down and that wicket was very crucial, we all know that Hanuman Vihari is a very capable batsman. But that time it was looking bleak chances of chasing the target because Pujara and Vihari, we know that they are not very good, they're not able to rotate the strike that as quickly as Rishabh would be. But we knew that they can hang around. We knew that if they hang around, that India will definitely going to India definitely have a chance. But after Pujara's wicket, definitely things were looking very tough. Then Vihari's injury came up, and it was looking very, very difficult. But fantastic determination by Vihari and Ashwin. The way they batted, they batted almost 43 or 44 overs together, and this is something extraordinary. I mean, great achievement by both of them. Like batting for 130 overs on a fourth inning is simply remarkable. Out of that, in today's day, they played 90 plus overs, and out of that, half of overs are shared by this partnership itself, Vihari and Ashwin. And at that time when Ashwin was batting, the bowling spell of Pat Cummins and Hazelwood, it was simply superb. They were attacking on the body. A lot of short balls were there, and you can say the fortune favors the way. A lot of ball was getting the edge, and but falling down on a no man's land. On a bad day, they
Yeah.
could have straight into the hand, but Ashwin showed the determination. He never bobbed down, and he never looked like he was just there. He was fully determined, I have to stay there. And Vihari obviously, and this is more special inning because they were not rotating the side. They were playing one end batting. It was like a one end batting. One batsman was playing from one end, other batsman playing from other end, because Vihari was not even able to walk. Despite of that, that he never showed that injury towards his best batting, and he never looked like losing his wicket. He was so much looking so clean, so much determined. Even, and I believe that Ashwin was amongst the best of every batsman to play Nathan Lyon as per defense is concerned. He played Nathan Lyon superbly. And today, I mean, it's like hats off to Team India, hats off to this pair. And it is one of the remarkable achievement, remarkable performance by Team India. Is going to remember for a long time. And yes, it's really, I mean, feeling a great. It feels so. It's like a goosebump to us when we were watching the last moment of the Test match,
Yeah.
when it came as a draw. It's more, and now it is like going to like 1-1 in the series, and it's going to be a very good final Test match. And India can go with the upper hand now in this series.
Definitely, it's one of those test matches which will be remembered remembered for long, and will definitely go down in the history of Test cricket. But before moving to Aditya and Anurag, I have a sarcastic point which is essential to be made, and I'll make it. That Australia's captain, Mr. Tim Paine, he was continuously uttering something or the other when Ashwin was batting, and Ashwin being an Indian, we always give respect to the other guys. So he stepped aside, and he did let Mr. Tim utter whatever he was uttering. So, and in the very next over, Tim Paine dropped Hanuma Vihari. Before that, he dropped a couple of times Rishabh Pant. So there's a saying that action speaks louder than words. I think Aussies do not read this, or if you can say specifically, Mr. Tim Paine didn't read this, that action speaks louder than words. So at the end, when I was after the Test match, when I was thinking about Australia, and once I thought that it was Indian team which actually hurted Aussies a lot. But after that, when again I looked back at the incident, and I thought it was Mr. Tim who hurted Australia a lot and gave a lot of pain to Australia by dropping a couple of times Rishabh Pant, and also dropping Hanuma Vihari. So action speaks louder than words. He should have been more concentrated on his actions rather than speaking a lot of words. So I think Mr. Tim will obviously remember this for the upcoming Test match, the last Test match, and also for his forthcoming cricketing actions, his appearances on the cricket field. That he will remember that it is with his actions that he needs to speak, and not with his words. So now coming to Aditya, it was a sarcastic point that actually struck my mind, and I thought, why not speak this? So Aditya, the way, also speak on Tim Paine's utterances, but the way Hanuma Vihari batted and Ashwin batted with a lot of pain. Ashwin sustained a lot of balls on his ribs. Hanuma Vihari was definitely injured. He pulled his hamstring. So as a batsman, you're batting with a lot of injuries, and obviously we know that while playing a spinner, you need to stretch your stride forward, or rather also playing a fast bowler, also you need to stretch your stride forward, go to the back foot. So how difficult it is, the task which Vihari and Ashwin completed?
I think Vihari just come over his injury. It was just pure determination for the country that he wanted to be there and he wanted to do the match. I think that took over rather than the injury he had. So hats off to the guys. It was like brilliant, superb, excellent, whatever. I think this the effort by these two, and even Pujara and Pant, it was more like more than a match winning effort for me, because in the situation like India was, it was totally brilliant effort. And coming back to the injury, uh, see, these things happen, and you have seen over this series that Indian team is totally determined, uh, with all the injuries happening around. So these things has taken India forward, and which was the most probability was that this series would go 2-1, but because of their effort and this series has stayed alive. I hope that this momentum will carry forward into the next match. And about Team Pen, I think it was pure destiny, and maybe uh, India was so determined to draw this match that even God helped India in such a way. But it's okay, like catches and all, that people drop. But I think it was just meant to be that this match had to be drawn.
So he was trying to shatter the concentration of Ravi Ashwin, but he
Yeah,
ultimately ended up shattering
yeah,
his own concentration.
maybe.
So I don't know. Yeah. So I'm awaiting for a lot of memes on Tim Payne on social media. I hope because social media guys are too active and too vigilant to catch these type of activities. So now moving to Anurag, a lot of disappointment. You were a bit disappointed for the last 2 days as India performed. But today, the way India played, the spirit which India showed, the character which Indian batters showed, the resilience. So just express your feelings.
Yeah, yeah. I'm totally delighted because this series has been such that those who are weak-hearted cannot watch it. Even though it's a test series, sometimes India gets all out for 36. Sometimes India plays the 4 sessions. So as you know, sometimes in the old radio commentary days, people used to say that those who are weak-hearted shouldn't watch this. Similarly, this type of games are happening. Very happy. And today I was happy to see the old Aussies getting on the field that we used to see in the early 2000. And I think Monty Panesar ji can shed more light on it, as how they go all out on a team when they see that they are not going to win, like throwing balls on the out on the batsman, like trying to get closer to them physically, or trying to chit chat a lot. So these things happening on the field showed that Australians were actually a bit anxious and desperate to take things away from India. And I think so today we learned a lot about cricket. Like many people used to come, we can say, I thought that attack is the best form of defense. It happened. That is also correct. And when you see a player like Vihari playing, you feel like defense is the best form of defense. Or you can see Pujara playing, you can see the defense is also a best form of defense. So, different players, they played at their strengths, and some players went out.
So I think he's disconnected due to the network issues. So coming to Rohan, he's also joining us from Delhi, Nada, a die-hard fan of Indian cricket team. So welcome, Rohan. You're joining for the first
Thanks.
time in the series. You texted me and said that I'll join. You were almost delighted and exuberant on India's win. So express your feelings.
So, first of all, congratulations to all of us that India has won the match. And the thing which I would like to express is, after a very long time, we have seen Test cricket being played to the best, to its level best. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
we haven't seen the games going to the fifth day, and a team struggling, players struggling in the middle to draw the match. And we have found four new heroes. We have found four new heroes through this test match, who can bat in the fourth inning as well. and all of them had a different all of them has played a different character, where we see Chireshwar Pujara batting with Rishabh Pant in the middle, and Rishabh Pant taking the charge on Nathan Lyon, and Chireshwar Pujara just supporting him. And then after Hanuma Vihari and Ravichandran Ashwin playing, helping each other, as we saw that he wasn't able to run hard. So what they planned, that Hanuma Vihari will face the pacers, and Ashwin will take charge on the spinners, and especially on Nathan Lyon. And I'm pretty much impressed the way the cricket has been played today by the Indian batsmen. And yeah, there is a lot of pain which Tim Paine will face through, as we all know that how mean Australian media as well as Indian media is. So there's a lot of pain which would be coming towards Tim Paine, and as well as Cricket Australia would be also, their eyes are also on him. And I believe in the next series we may see Steve Smith again taking the captaincy for Cricket Australia. So these were my thoughts.
Yeah. So Anurag, your point was actually not completed, as there was some connectivity issues. So are you there now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So you can complete, and then I'll move to Paji. Yes, you can complete.
I can hear you. I hope you're.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
You can
So I was
complete it.
about to tell that they were. So they were getting very anxious and desperate, and I thought Indians could have also won this game had it not been the injury to various players, like Jadeja was not fully fit, so, and Hanuma Vihari got injured. So it's almost like if a team can score 300 plus in the fourth innings, they can also score 400, or they can also score any target, because they were quite comfortable in scoring those runs. So if Indians would have wanted to score 40-50 more runs, they could have done it, but unfortunately they were not having some fit batsmen. But like it said that sometimes when adversity strikes you, people come out with more you can say with more power. So that's what I think India did. When things don't go your way, Indian players got more into playing that kind of game, which I thought we would have seen maybe Australia playing on fifth day. It looked like India was bowling and Australia was batting. In Australia, it never looked like it's a team which has come touring here and they are fighting it out. So that's all I would like to say.
Okay, so let's move forward. I think there is some serious technical glitch. Paji, as he mentioned that adversity brings opportunity. So there were a lot of fans hurling racial abuses. I don't know, that idiot spectator, out of his stupidity, I don't know what not he was hurling racial abuses to various Indian players. So today, I think it's a tight slap on their faces as well, that you were trying to hurl abuses to break this team, but this team stood out more resolute and showed more character and united as a team. And this has actually culminated in the performance which they gave today. So first question is this to you, and second question is that Rishabh Pant was the only guy in this team to have scored a century in the fourth innings of the game, and today he was promoted at number 5. So the way he batted and as Anurag mentioned, counter-attack, so he did not allow Nathan Lyon to actually stick to his line and length. So how much this has been a help for Team India?
Yeah, look, firstly, I think the Indian team was, bitterly disappointed with, the Australian fans hurling, obviously racial abuse at him.
You are not audible.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, he's audible to us. There's some problem at your end, Utkarsh, I believe.
Okay.
Paji, you're not audible.
I think I can.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah.
Everyone else can hear me, I think.
We
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
Am I
Harsh, we can
audible to
hear Monty.
everyone?
Yes, yes.
me? Yeah, everyone can hear me. I think we've lost him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Sir, but what it is that means every time there is an issue in Sydney. So did you experience something of this sort, like when you were there?
Yeah, well, he's back now,
Yeah.
so yeah,
So am I audible now?
yeah.
Am I audible?
yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So my question was, Paji, that there was a lot of spectators hurling racial abuses. I don't know, out of their stupidity, where did this strike their mind, and they were hurling racial abuses on Indian players to actually break their confidence and shatter their spirits. But they obviously came out more resolute and showed more character and spirit, and united as a team, which culminated in the performance which they showed today. Number one. Number two, second question was that Rishabh Pant was the only guy in this team to have scored a century in the fourth innings of a test match. So number five, and so he was promoted to number five, and he actually didn't allow Nathan Lyon to stick to his lines and lanes. So how did this help Team India? These two questions.
Yeah, look, I think obviously the racial abuse that was sent out kind of hurt the Indian team, made them more determined, and this Indian team then kind of responded. Probably, they showed what it meant to them on the field, and it kind of made them more determined. But I think that the disappointing thing was that fans even now are being addressed for racial abuse, and should there be some sort of guidelines where people and fans and authorities kind of know, and then make it very clear to the fans, like if you want to, say anything that's racial, then there's a consequence. There's a huge fine. Some people have even called out that fans should be given should be put on their criminal record, for racial abuse. That's possibly going a bit too far, but if these kind of things don't stop, then yeah, there needs to be some sort of drastic actions, taken place, because fans need to have the fear that we can't say whatever we feel like to opposition players and think we're going to get away with it. And I think it kind of probably had the opposite effect. You kind of think that this Indian team would be dispirited, but in fact it's gone the other way. And it's all the fingers are now pointing towards this Australian team. Vital drop catches, had plenty of overs in the bank, fifth day pitch, invariable bounce, balls turning. Why couldn't this Australian team take the last 5 wickets in 40 overs, which should be, they just should have done that. But that's what sport is. Sometimes, like we say, disappointment, adversity, these kind of things, you can use it in a positive way. And I think this Indian team have responded, brilliantly. Look at the circumstances. You look at how Vihari's injury, Jadeja wasn't available. You're kind of thinking, during the fourth Test match that India probably lose this Test match, but they've shown a lot of fight, and something for every Indian to be proud of. That today, they've really shown a lot of determination.
Yeah. So moving to Varun, now it is incumbent on Australia to actually win the last Test match in order to win this Border-Gavaskar series. Otherwise, if India wins it, or if it ends in a draw, India will retain it. So how much this draw is vital in the perspective of the whole series, Border-Gavaskar series?
I believe, I mean, this the way this match ended up, the way this match went, it is like a turning point for this series. Obviously, going 1-1 will put more pressure on Australian team rather than they were looking to take a lead in this test match. So obviously, it will be more pressure on Australian team when they go to the final test match and they're playing at home and they want to take the Border-Gavaskar trophy, as already India won the last one. So definitely the pressure is on Australian team, and this the way the Indian team is the way Indian team bounced back after what happened at first test match when the team India went 36 all out, and after that coming back winning the second test match. Then in this game again, this test match was like, team was always going down and out, but they were never out of the game. Indian team was down at the moment, but they were always lifting up with their performance, and they shown the character. And right now we can say that Team India is on better position than Team Australia. And there are a lot of things to be. The pressure is on Australia, especially the way this last day ended. A lot of lot of catches were dropped, and obviously when results are not in your favor, then such things will always count that this catch was dropped at that particular time. We have seen this just couple of days back. Everyone was after Rishabh Pant. Now that swing is moving to Tim Paine. So yes, I believe Indian team is sitting on a more comfortable position right now as per Australia. But yes, there are concerns for Team India also because some injuries are there. So definitely some change in combination will be there for the final test match. That is the only concern for Indian team. But I believe the Indian team got a better bench strength, and Team India as a unit, when they are playing as a unit, they are strong enough team to outclass any opposition anywhere. So yes, Australia will have to face the music in final test. This is what I believe.
Yeah. So, Aditya, now with a lot more injuries, as we saw Shami getting injured, Virat Kohli obviously had to go back. So, Shami getting injured, Umesh Yadav getting injured, Rishabh Pant, now Ravindra Jadeja ruled out. Looks difficult for Hanuma Vihari also to recover and play the last test match. So, India, the clouds of injuries are over Team India. So, in this perspective, how do you look at the next test match and who actually, according to, because KL Rahul also another
Yeah, he
very
has also
important
flown back.
mention. KL Rahul has injured his thumb and he's also flown back to India. So in this perspective, how do you look at the last test match and who, according to you, will replace Jadeja and Hanuma Vihari?
I think most probably I would like to see Kuldeep Yadav in place of Ravindra Jadeja, and I would like to see Mayank Agrawal again opening the innings and Rohit Sharma at number 4. I think that would give India a much more balanced side. See, and injuries means happen. You can't control it, and uh, like the way India has cooperated with these injuries and they have overcome all the challenges. I think they can still present a lot of challenge to Australia, and if they can draw this series, it will be like a great effort with all the main players missing out. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the last question, or rather the last comment from Rohan, who has joined us. Rohan, the same happened with the MCG test that Umesh Yadav got injured. He didn't bowl in the final, or rather second innings of Australia. In this innings also, Jadeja, who would have been very much crucial for India, as Paji was mentioning yesterday, that he would have used and exploited the rough patches which was created on the Sydney Cricket Ground pitch. So looking at that, what happened in MCG and what happened here in SCG that Jadeja also didn't get to bowl. So under these circumstances, India did win MCG and drew this test match, which is almost equal to a win. So how much will this boost the confidence of the players?
Yeah, for sure. Both the matches have given us a huge, given us the team a huge, will add on a huge confidence uh, to their set. And I believe and we'll see Natarajan playing the next match, as we know that Brisbane Gaba is a track which supports the pace battery rather than the spinners. And I believe India will opt for T Natarajan getting in the team. And Mayank Agarwal, as we don't have any other option, Mayank Agarwal will be the second choice if Bihari is not fit for playing the
Okay,
match.
so Paji, who will you include? Will replace Jadeja with a spinner, or will bring in a medium pacer according to the situations in Brisbane Gaba?
Yeah, Brisbane is probably the wicket where is the best wicket in Australia, and it's definitely going to be suiting the seamers far more than the spinners. So look, I think bringing in Natarajan definitely adds that great option. He's a left arm seamer, and that angle the Australian batsmen haven't really been exposed to. So, I'll try and see if we can get inclusion of Natarajan. Possibly, you don't really need to play two spinners. And I like the option of, I think, Rohit Sharma being down the order, because I think that's his natural style of play is to play slightly more attacking, and you could see how he got out in the second innings when he's pulling that ball and he's on 50 yard. And a normal opener probably wouldn't have played the pull shot, in during that, at that phase of the game. So I think if we can, if there's an opportunity to push Rohit Sharma into the middle order, that would be a good option. And then Mahenga Agarwal, obviously come and open the batting. But this Brisbane Test match, it's been since I think 1988 since Australia have lost a Test match. So
Yeah.
they will be thinking, we can maybe win this Test match at Brisbane. But I remember when we drew the Test when I was in the famous draw victory against Australia at Cardiff, and the momentum completely went towards England at Lords the following Test, and this is the same thing. These guys are going to be tired. They've only got 3 days to turn this around, and from rest and recovery, and when the fourth Test match starts. So I think India, the ones with fresh players coming into the team, I think they're going to be the one who probably think this could be a great opportunity. One of the best opportunities of winning in Australia again.
Okay. So, Varun, as India will look to penetrate the fort of Brisbane in the next Test match, your changes, who you will actually replace with Jadeja and Hanuma Vihari?
Yeah, I mean, as definitely Mayank should come in and Rohit to drop into the middle order, because it will strengthen the middle order batting lineup with the team knowing that Rohit to follow. Definitely, that will put pressure on the opposition, and Jadeja's change is what the problem with Jadeja change is that it will, with Jadeja inclusion, is always give strength to your batting also in lower down the order. But whatever option we have, whether we include any bowler or any spinner, that will going to weaken our batting lineup definitely. So probably like as we know that Brisbane going to support the seam attack because it's a very hard wicket, hard track. So definitely one spinner is more than enough. That is Ashwin, and I'm not in favor of including Kuldeep. But yes, we can include Natarajan in place of Jadeja, or we can include Vridman Shaw also in place of Jadeja and play with the 4 bowlers. So that because that can also give strength behind the wicket, and we play Rishabh Pant as a batsman, and we can have 2 change like in form of Saha and Mayank Agarwal. This is what I will go.
Okay, Saha coming in for Rishabh Pant.
No, Saha
No,
coming
Saha
in
coming
for
in for
Jadeja
Jadeja.
and that Mayank for Vihari. I won't be including any bowler. I'll go with 4 bowlers, 3 medium pacer and Ashwin.
Oh,
One spinner.
okay, okay, interesting. So on this very note, let's end this session, and hopefully we'll meet you again on 15th for the review of the first day's play of the Brisbane Test. And till the time, take care, goodbye, and enjoy, because it's enjoyment time, celebration time. Leave aside what the fans did, what the spectators did, what Tim Payne did. It's time for enjoyment. Let's celebrate India's win, and hopefully we'll meet again for the first review of the first day's play of the Brisbane Test. So till the time, goodbye, guys, and thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you. Yeah.